you doing?
I'm good. How are you this evening?
Good, busy, tired, exhausted. What all you need? You need all the descriptions because I got some for you. I got some for you. Where are you joining us in from tonight?
St. Louis, Missouri, where I was born and raised.
Was it? I want to come down there to go to the water park, the Branson, Missouri. I think Branson. Yeah.
That's a few hours away from us. I'm in St. Louis, the ghetto.
Yeah, we have you out country. So by the time you get to, I'm already done past the state. I'm in another whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a few hours away from you. Have you been?
I went to Branson when we was little, like to go to when Nickelodeon was there. I don't even know if they still have Nickelodeon,
Mhm.
but I've been before. Remember they used to do that show? Oh, I can't think of the name of that show. That show where you used to go and they
Oh,
used to time you and all that type of stuff.
it's a little slide.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I went there when I was little, but as an adult, I haven't been. But I heard there's a winery down there in a spa there that I do want to go to. I need to look into it.
Definitely. We do. How's the malls down there?
Actually, we got some pretty good malls. Like in St. Well, as far as like St. Louis, we got some really good malls. We got the Galleria, West County, South County, Fairview. Like we got a few malls. Like I think we got some of the best malls compared to some
Yeah,
of the places that I've been. Because a lot of places don't really have no good malls like that.
very our mall look like the Target.
I
Yeah.
do, and Walmart, like Walmart and Target, I definitely like those.
It's just nothing out here. So listen, we're gonna jump into before we go into your publisher life. Let's start in the beginning, where it all started. So, how long have you been writing? Let's see how long you've been writing before you got published. Everything.
Well, actually, I never really thought about writing. Like, I was a reader. Like, I used to like to read. Like, my mama, she'd bring home these books from her coworkers, but she'd never read them. So I used to steal them and read them. And I knew I had no business reading them, but I was just reading them. So one day she was on the phone with one of them. She was like, "Girl, did you read that book? We supposed to be talking about that book." And I was like, "She ain't read it, but I did."
Right.
I was like, "Girl, what did you do reading them books?" I'm like, "Well," she's like, "Well, at least you read." And so it was just like, and the first one that I stole from her, well, I ain't gonna say steal because that sounds real bad, but like I borrowed it to read it. The first one I borrowed from her was Be More Careful.
Mhm.
And that book, like, it was just like, it changed my life because it was just so ghetto and gritty. And it was like, I grew up in the hood, but it was like certain stuff that I didn't see at that age. And it was just like, dang, this stuff don't happen where I live. So it was just like, where is this type of stuff happening in? So
Right.
it was just like I fell in love with that kind of stuff. Then I started reading True to the Game. Then I read The Coldest Winter Ever. And then I read the Bitch series and it was over. I was just like, I like to read.
You was always reading something. Always reading something. But I was more into like before I started with True to the Game started, Caldwell started, all his books. Oh my God, I was just all into them. Ahita books, I was all into them too. So like, but then I was more the self-help books. I love those. I was just always like, when I get older, I just want to help this person do this. I want to help them. I want to know what's going on in their brain. I want to know what makes them think like this. So I was just always reading them type of books as well. When did you know you wanted to start writing?
Okay, so I was a beautician. I went to school to do hair. Like, and in 2000, I graduated in 2007. And I was working in a beauty shop and I started doing hair. And in 2009, the beginning of 2009, I got sick to where I had to get brain surgery and all this little life altering stuff.
Yes.
Didn't do hair anymore. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So it was just like a whole, midlife. I don't want to say midlife crisis. I was still young, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I went through this whole like battle of like trying to find another profession and stuff like that. Like I couldn't work a regular 9 to 5. I couldn't do none of that because of the illness that I have. And so I was just like, I'm gonna try this, like to try to write, because I was had a few friends who wrote books and stuff. And one of my friends, she was signed to Lucinda John. And she had ended up writing a book. She was from here. We went to high school together. And I read her book or whatever, and she was just encouraging me, like, yeah, you should try it, and this, that, and the third. So I had just started writing because I have seen a lot of stuff, and so I was like, you know what, I probably could. So I just tried to write it. I started on pen and paper, and I was writing this book, and I let my husband read it, and he was like, this real good or whatever. So then I let my sister and my siblings and my cousin and everybody reading. They was like, what you gonna do with this? Like, what is your plan? I was like, I don't know. Like, because I really didn't know. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I was like, but I'm submitted to somebody, but I didn't want to like submit it to the same publisher that my friend was under. I want to go a different route. So I just started submitting to a few people. I submitted to Jessica Watkins. I submitted to, what did I submit to? I submitted to Jessica Watkins, Teeth Mickens, and it was somebody else. I can't remember who it was at the time, but the two people that got back to me was Jessica Watkins and Teeth. But Jessica was who I really wanted to get signed to at first, but she didn't get back to me till like a month after I had already signed to Teeth.
Oh, okay.
So I had just went that route, and since then I've just been writing. And that was in 2016. I dropped my first book in March of 2016.
What was it about your first book?
Oh, I don't think I could say this on camera.
Yeah.
But I will say it was based off one of my family members.
Okay.
Um, One of my family members was like real heavy in the drug game.
Okay.
And he had gave me like some of his story, and I kind of like took his story and mixed it with like some of my uncle's story, because I got a lot of people in my family that was into like the streets. So I basically kind of like took real life situations and added my own little judge to it. And that's how my first series came about. But it was based off of my older cousin.
Okay. What is the name of the book?
It was called Loyalty Over Royalty. But once I left that publisher and got the rights back to the book, I republished it. And the name of it is A St. Louis Hood Tale now.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that. St. Louis Hotel. Okay, so I got some truth in it too as well. Okay. So did you have anybody that inspired you then when you started writing? Like you was like, I want to be like this writer. I want the game, my pen game to be like this writer. You have anything like that?
I never really wanted to like be or write like anybody else, because I always knew that my style of writing was different.
Mhm.
Um, but I will say that the people that I kind of like look up to, I think are very much underrated. Like it's a lot of big name authors that I like Keisha Irving. I love her writing. Shannon Holmes, Terry Woods, Carl Weber, like people like that. But my favorite writer is actually my friend. Well, she was my favorite author before she became my friend, and it's Deidre B. I don't know if y'all read her books. She's from Chicago.
Yes, 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 yes.
And she was like one of my favorite writers. And Sheree Lewis, she was one of my favorite writers. Like that's what Sheree Lewis was, the person that made me want to sign to Jessica Watkins, because I used to read her books all the time before I started writing. And it was just like those two authors. I just always like they style of writing, and Miss Lady P too. But I didn't get into Miss Lady P until I got into the industry. But
Um,
I was reading Jessica Watkins books and Sheree Lewis books before I even thought about writing a book.
how many books have you have published to date?
As of 27, I just dropped 27th book on Valentine's Day. That was the Valentine's Day book.
Okay, while we there with the Valentine's Day book, let's go ahead and talk about it some so we can let them know what book you just dropped. Kissing a Single Father on Valentine's. Y'all, it's available on Amazon. And I did read the story, okay? And I loved it. Now, the friends or the sisters or whoever they is, how they come in the story, expecting that. I wasn't not expecting them to be down for the game when they first came in, but in the twist that you gave it to be able to be like one sister one sister ended up with a surprise that she was not, that we didn't know about. Um, I was like, I cried. It was heartfelt. I wasn't expecting that part either. So like y'all listen, so these two neighbors, they stay beside. Well, you go ahead, tell us. You go ahead and tell us.
I don't know how to tell it without giving too much away.
Hey, okay. Two neighbors stay beside each other. Have mm, okay, they stay beside each other. One girl is running daycare, and then there's another guy. He's kind of a wild boy, and he sleeps with different women, have different women in and out. And let's just say he got. Okay, basically he got. Um, and he got more than he bargained for. Some things happen, and he end up with a gift. He kind of like has to learn to, this is something new for him. It's something he got to do. He got to mature. He got to be able to be a better person. I mean, it's called single father, so he got to be the single father. Whatever. So things happen. With between him and the neighbor. And so she got her own story, he got his own story, and we definitely need to hear from the brother. Are you planning on bringing the brother
Girl, I
back?
fell in love with him. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be a main character in the story. He was just supposed to give the story, like, how like you drop a little spice in there. And
Right?
the character's always supposed to have I feel like every good character gotta have a good wingman. So Mario was like,
That wingman be strong though, and like the readers want to hear from the wingman because the way you got him, he the brother and like he was just like more cool and laid back with it, but you kind of want to hear from him. You kind of want to see what's going on with him too, as well.
yeah, I'm thinking about giving him a story.
Yes.
Because when I was writing him, I'm like, this fool is crazy. Like, I don't know where I got him from, but I like him.
The way he was in there doing that dang on nursery rhyme took me out. The way he was in there doing that nursery
Girl, my sister said, where do you come up with this shit? I said, I don't know.
girl, I was like, he is, but like, oh, mom, I love everybody, even the girl that had to make that big decision to be able to do what she did. Can't get a story away, but the decision she made or whatever. I know people want to slam her for that decision, but she was in a tough spot. I ain't
Yeah.
like how she went about doing it, but I know why she did because she was in a tough spot again. She didn't know how this was gonna go, so it was up in the air. So I did like that, but we just definitely have to hear from them. You definitely have to hear from. So y'all, this is Markela review, and I do give it a 5 star. So I did give it a 5 star. So you guys gotta check it out. It's available on Amazon now. let's jump back into it and let's talk about how you come up with these characters in these books. Are they real people you know? Are they in your head?
Girl, some of them just be okay. So I got some crazy people around me. Like when I say a lot of the people in my family or a lot of people that I deal with are so animated.
Uh-huh.
And it like from my little brothers to my husband friends and cousins and stuff like it's just be the people that I be around. So when I make characters or like I give them personalities, I think about the people around me.
Mhm.
And like my older brothers, like they are clowns. Like I can't wait to come with this story that I got for the summertime. So I got two big brothers, they twins. And when I say they they love each other and they so close, but
Mhm.
everything is a competition with them
Yeah,
two.
of
Like
course, of course, of course.
and they so funny. When I say they so funny, it's just like they personalities are just so bold and funny and strong. It just be like, where the hell y'all come from?
Mhm.
So when I think about characters in the books out and give them personalities, I just think about the people around me or something like that.
Now,
Or something they just fit in.
have you used your two brothers before as characters?
No.
So they coming this summer.
Yes.
Do they know they coming this summer?
Yes, they do. Because I plan because they keep asking when I would write this story. I'm like, y'all want me to write this story, but y'all gonna be so mad at me when y'all read it because I put everything in there. Like,
Do they have love interest in this book?
girl, I'ma give them love interest, but they don't. They got like several baby mamas, so it's just like they got a lot of drama around them. So it's like,
So
yeah,
you
it's
got you about to tell it all, and they okay with it.
damn. He was like, as long as y'all put no names on it, as long as y'all, but I know how to kind of like doctor it up so people be
Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah.
think she talking about me, but is she talking about me? Like, yeah.
Well, we're
So
gonna be. Do you have a title for that one yet?
no, I don't. I got to think of the perfect
Right.
time. Like,
Yeah. Well, that was an exclusive.
yeah.
I like the exclusive drops because I be wanting to know what y'all got coming up and what this story is about to be about and everything. So
Oh,
we
it's gonna be
got it.
drama, a lot of drama, a lot of funny moments,
Now you
but
have a way with your pen, making it humorous.
and that's why I said I think my writing style is like really, really different. Like my wordplay and stuff like that. I think it's just different from most. So, and that's probably why I don't know. Like I have my certain people that like me, then I have certain people that be like, "Oh, I just can't get with her style of writing," and that's fine.
Oh, I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh. What is your favorite genre to write?
Um, I don't really have a favorite. I'm willing to try anything. But as for I think I would have to say like urban romance because I like a good love story, but I like some drama too. Like every love story got drama. Like I hate when people try to make a perfect love story because love stories aren't perfect at all. Like I don't know nobody with a perfect love story.
I know, right?
So I don't like reading about perfect love stories.
So you don't like the contemporary and the mushy stuff.
No. It's
No.
just I guess because it's not real to me. Like I know everything is supposed to be fiction, but when I read fiction books, I want some type of real feeling to it. Like I don't like fiction books that's just too far fetched. It's just like, come on now, this didn't happen.
Mhm.
It's just like I can't get with the, oh, he went and bought 300 keys and this, that, and the third. Like, why? I guess because I know real dope boys and I know real people that's actually in the game. And I feel like if you got money to go buy 300 keys, why are you selling dope?
What?
Like, why? So it's just like, I don't like that far-fetched urban fiction. And if I come across it, I'm going to immediately close the book.
Everybody has their thing that they just can't get with. Um, I'm not a mushy girl. They call me the toxic one in the book club, so I'm the toxic girl. But I don't like for my stuff to not be thuggy. I don't like for my hood not to be hood. Like I want to, if you're gonna say that, if you're gonna be a billionaire, I don't need nobody sneak. I don't need no baby mama sneaking in this house. You know what I mean? I need him to be a billionaire. I need him
Right,
to move like that. Now, will I read it? Have I read some? Yeah. And have I enjoyed some? Yeah. I don't like back and forth. They'll tell you, I don't like the cat and mouse game. I hate it.
right.
Um, I read some, but then I don't, and then my cup of tea. For especially from reading just for pleasure, like um, at least in my own time, I don't want to read it. But yeah, so it gotta be funny though. I like somebody smart mouth, sleek mouth, talk junk, that
Yeah.
type thing. Like
But
that.
disrespectful, and because it's like I get this, I make disrespectful characters, but they always get something that happens. They always get left. Like I never let the disrespectful characters come out on top because I hate disrespectful men. Like I just hate disrespectful men. So it just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make this character, but oh, he ain't gonna last too long because I can't tolerate the disrespect too long.
Girl, when you had Maurice to pull up beside that girl, and she thought he was about to crawl back. He pulled up beside that girl. She thought he was about to be apologize. I was like, watch her, he come back to me. Pulled up beside her, bro, and pulled out. I hollered.
No, but no, no.
That was too funny.
My brother did that to somebody in real life. That's where I got that.
My
Like
brother,
he literally did that. Like they was arguing. He actually did it to one of his baby mamas. They was arguing and they was arguing like a bug. And she said something to him, but then walked off. And then he got in the car and she was like, and you forgot to give me something. And so he pulled on the side of her, and I guess she thought he was gonna give it to him. He was like, no, find it your own. So he said something and just pulled off there. Oh, y'all is weird.
said, well, let me tell you something. You about to be a hated person in the summer book then.
But look though, I
So,
thought he was really gonna say sorry or apologize or do something too. But when he did what he did, I was like, so I knew she was like,
oh, that's right. What genre you haven't read yet but want to, like to the Destiny?
you said what? Who? I'm sorry.
What you haven't written in? What genre you don't haven't written in but want to write in?
Oh, BWWM, Black Woman, White Man. I want to do a Black Woman, White Man story so bad. And I
Oh,
have
interracial couple book.
a who?
Interracial.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
Mhm. Okay. You have like good wives or just what you want to do to them? Just a regular story?
I had this story in my head,
Okay.
right? And I ended up giving it to one of my authors. I ended up giving the storyline to one of my authors. And
Mhm.
she wrote the story, and the books did pretty well. So I can't do that storyline no more. I always find myself giving my storylines away and stuff like that. I mean, but that's how it be when you got authors and stuff. So it just be like, okay. But I don't know. I haven't thought of another storyline yet, but I just know I want to write one.
It's not time. This is like right, give away storylines. I will give away a storyline in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
And I like stop doing that because being the assistant and helping and everything like that. I'm like, you gotta have something in store when somebody go when they writer's block, when they had go in writer's block, what you gonna be able to give them if you don't really gave everything else out of the way? So I gotta stop doing it too. I really do.
yeah.
What's your favorite book in your catalog?
Hmm. I don't think maybe like okay, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably say giving the pieces of my heart to a youngin.
Okay.
Only because
That's a cougar book.
huh?
That's the cougar book.
Yes, I'm gonna say it's my favorite book because actually it helped me overcome some things. Like it took me a long time to write that part one because like y'all, like it took me like a week to write the first chapter because I couldn't stop crying. It was like every time I tried to write that prologue and I sit down, it was just like I couldn't stop crying. And my husband was like, "Why are you writing this book if it's making you feel like this?" And I'm like,
Hmm.
"Gotta get it out, like I
Yeah.
gotta get it out." But my main character in that book, she had fertility issues, and she just wanted a baby, and that was me. I was that person. So after I had 5 miscarriages and then I lost both of my fallopian tubes. So after that, it was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So I created a character because I didn't see too many, like, if you read a lot of these urban books, all these women just be getting pregnant, getting pregnant, getting pregnant, like it's just easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never really seen anybody talk about a real life situation to where a woman really couldn't have a baby, or she'll get pregnant and be hopeful about keeping a baby or being able to carry the baby, but it just don't happen for her. And a lot of these urban books make it seem like it's just so easy for women to just get pregnant and have children when no, it's really not like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring like a storyline that's real that people really don't talk about, but it's real. Because I never really thought like I used to think like, oh, what's wrong with me? Like, is something wrong with me? Not knowing that I wasn't the only person dealing with something like this. But when you dealing, you never know how many other women are going through the same thing that you're going through until you come across them and you're going through the same thing. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yes, I do.
it was just like I felt like it needed to be talked about.
Mhm.
And when I came out with that book, I was surprised how many women inboxed me and was like, I needed that. Like, so I knew that people read that book and was like, okay, maybe there is hope for me.
So go ahead and say the name of that book again because the viewers gonna be watching and they gonna want to know the title.
It's giving pieces of my heart to a youngin.
That is available on Amazon as well.
Yes, and it's about a girl she's an older woman and she's married. She's a physician, emergency room physician, and she's married. She's successful. Her husband's successful, and they want children, but he wants children like crazy. And it's like she keeps going through these miscarriages and stuff. So she's like to the point where it's just like she want to give up. Like she's really not worried about it. So then she ends up losing a fallopian tube, and when she does that, it's like she becomes like she gets this like I don't want to say like phobia, but she's basically scared to even still have sex. Like she's basically just scared like of a lot of shit. And that's what happened to me. Like I was at a point where I was just even scared to have sex because I didn't want to get pregnant again, like in order to lose the baby again. Like it was just a lot that I was going through mentally. So all those the emotions that I had, I gave her.
Yeah.
And then I put my into it. I had to be messy. I made it to where like her husband was cheating on her with her best friend and all this type of stuff. And girl, it just get real messy and real juicy. But like I tell everybody else, no, my husband did not cheat on me. No, he did not have no kids. So
That is not the that.
girl, I had a reader. We was in New Orleans. I had a reader straight was like, she was like, that story was true. I'm like, no. My husband was looking at her like, woman, if y'all get out my face.
Right, right.
He
I
was like,
mean, y'all sprinkle sauce on this, different parts of it. So she just want to know, like, what's the tea? Yes, you know what? I can tell that one is probably close to you because when I asked you the first one, like, tell the other book about, you like, get too much away. When I asked you about this book, you jump right in. You know what I mean? So that one is very clicked on near to your heart. That
yeah,
one's one that is gonna probably always stay like near to your heart because it was one you had to push yourself through.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's emotional. Tell me about tell me about a day in your writing world. How do you go from what is your writing ritual? How you do it? How many hours you take to write a book? Let's start there. How many days? How long it take you?
It just depends on how I'm feel like. It depends on how I'm feeling. Like if I know that I gotta get it done, I just gotta get this book out. I gotta get this book out. Typically I can write a book with maybe like 3 weeks to a month if
Oh,
I'm really like sitting like in it.
mhm.
But typically I like to take my time when I write my book. So I give myself at least 40 to 60 days
Mhm.
to come up with a good plot, something different, something that don't seem rushed or I hate when it seems like I'm rushing. But I have learned that I work better under pressure.
Oh, here we go. I have one that tells me, okay, well, I work better under pressure. Do you not know we stay up to 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning because the book, she has put a date on the book and the book is coming out like she want to upload it at 8. And it's a 4 o'clock. We get you set my alarm clock and be like, I'm like, girl, let's just get an hour of rest. So she set the alarm clock, get an hour rest, call me back. You up? You ready? Let's go. I'm like,
I'm telling you, like, if I say like this did happen before. It don't happen all the time, y'all, but it didn't happen before. Actually, it happened with my Valentine's book. If say like my release date it was the 14th. I ain't finished writing that book till the morning of the 13th.
no.
Because it was like the last 10K I wrote in like 48 hours because I had to push, like, because I had some stuff that came up and I couldn't write. So it was just like, oh my God, this book coming out, this book coming out. And then it was just like, you got to get this thing done. I've never pushed a release date back. Once I announce a release date, their book is coming out on that date.
We're coming at.
So I had already announced the release date. I was like, oh, girl, I don't give a hell. You better get that. Girl, I probably smoked 7 blunts and one drop like 4 lemon drops.
I'm weak and still got the book out.
Yes, and I had to push that book out. Yeah.
I guess that's your creative way of doing it. So let's jump. Let's jump over to from author to publisher. How was that? How was that transition? What made you come and publisher?
I think it was because, well, actually, my last publisher, my first publisher, she was my only publisher. She had gave me a sub company under her company, and it was called Pen of Elegance, and like it was up under her. And then once I left her, I just switched my company name because I always wanted it to be T. Ann Marie Presents anyway. But when I was under her, she was T. Smickens Presents, so it was like the same, letters and stuff, which I didn't see anything wrong with it, but I just didn't want her to feel like, I was stepping on her toes. So, but nobody really knew that it was my company, like I felt like it didn't have my stamp on it because it wasn't T. Ann Marie Presents. You get what I'm saying? So, once I left her and I rebranded and I did everything that I wanted to do, that's when I changed my company to T. Ann Marie Presents, and it's just been their way ever since.
How many authors do you currently have in your publishing company?
At the moment, I have 17.
That's a big roster.
Yeah.
That's a big roster. Are you accepting submissions?
As of right now, yes. I'm
All
kind
right,
of
you
like,
hear that, guys? As of right now, yes.
yes. As of right now, yes. Like,
What you looking for?
I really don't have a preference. I just want you to be goal driven. Just make sure that you're ready. Like you ready to write, you ready to work, because being in this industry isn't easy. Like I tell my authors all the time, when I sign authors, I don't sign them telling them, oh, I'm gonna make you a millionaire overnight, or you gonna be this, or you gonna be that, because I don't know what you're gonna be.
Mhm.
You you could sign a contract, you could put one book out, and it might take off for you. I don't know. I've had authors who dropped their first book and it did really, really well. I had authors drop their first book and they barely made $20. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have anything to do with me. It's
Mhm.
the way of the industry. And that's how I try to explain to some of these authors. But a lot of people don't grasp the concept of being an independent author. Just because you're signed under a publisher doesn't mean you're still not an independent author. You're an independent contractor. You still got to promote yourself. You still got to put the work in, and you can't depend on your publisher to do everything. The reason you're signing a contract is for my following. So you can be seen. So I can put you on a platform and my readers can leech on to you. That's the purpose of you signing a contract with a publisher.
Yes. Mhm.
People think that when you sign a contract with a publisher, it's just, oh, everything is on her. Like she gonna make me a star and she better make me a star. No, that's not how it goes.
It's a hustle. Your hustle gotta be there. If you
Exactly.
don't if you don't grind your book, if you don't be out there trying to hustle and sell who you are as a brand, then they're not gonna read. They get your following, just like you said. They get the following.
Exactly.
They get the Tia Marie presents. That's what they get on the cover. Um, After that, it's up to them. And then like with reading, as a reader too, you don't know what book is gonna flop and what book is gonna take off. You have no way of predicting it. You can spend months on writing that book and people will still not like it. And you can spend, like you said, 48 hours, 3 weeks to write a book and it take off and it's bestseller.
Right.
You have no clue what they're gonna like. So it's hard to explain it to somebody. Yeah, it's hard to explain it to somebody. So right now you are looking for just whoever. Is it certain genre they can write
Um,
urban fiction? What's different?
I'm urban romance, street lit. I do interracial romance, erotica. But basically urban romance, urban fiction, and stuff like that. Like because I have an urban audience. Of course, some of my readers they're open to reading different things and stuff like that. But like I tell people, like my following looks for a certain type of book. So
That's
I'm not finna hire you or give you a contract and you write something that I know my following is not going to be interested in. I'm
right.
not even waste your time.
Right.
So
That's
it's just not a point. Like I've had a few people like that wanted to sign and I let them know like I get that you want to sign and you want to be seen, but it's just like my audience isn't for you. So I don't want to sign you and then you just be stuck looking crazy. You know, it's people that I've signed and they books are for the audience. They just don't pick them up, you know, and they feel some type of way. So like I don't want to sign nobody who I know my audience is not gonna feel, you know, just to make them feel something. No, that's never been my like I don't have to chase a dollar because anything that's meant for me, God is going to provide it.
right.
So it's just like, nah, I'm not just finna sign you just so you clear another number on my roster and I can say, oh, I got this many artists because nah, that don't move me.
No, that's right. No, that's right. But as a reader too, shopping. We go shopping. So we know like when we want to read this type of, style type authors, we go over here. When you want this, we go over there. Especially when I'm stuck and I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing to read. I can't find nothing to read, because it's certain type of books I like. And some people give the first couple pages. Some people give you a chapter. Some people, I may give you three just because that's who I am. I give out three chapters in it to grab it to see if it's gonna catch me or whatever. So you go shopping, and so like if you know good and well you can't sell that person, and they do contemporary romance, and you do street lit and urban, they can't. Your readers is not gonna vibe with it.
Right. And I will give them like it's been a few people who contemporary and I'll be like, well, go try B Lane. I mean B Love or you know, like somebody or Nikki Brown or somebody like that. They got people like that on their rosters. I will refer the publishers that I know, you know, release those type of books. Like even Casey Mills, she got a lot of contemporary writers and stuff like that. So I will, you know, refer them to different publishers who I feel can help them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just if I feel like I can't help you and I feel like I don't have the platform for you, yes, I would definitely refer you to somebody else.
Now, how hands-on are you with your team? Are you real hands-on? You micromanaging, or are you like, girl, y'all, they worrying you to death? How hands-on are you?
Girl, my damn authors is spoiled.
They spoiled.
Rotten. Too damn rotten. To the point where I'd be like, why? Do I like like why do I like do that? Like they spoil like because I'm the type of publisher I when I became independent and I stopped the sub company from the old publisher that I was under. I told myself I want to be the publisher that I would want. Somebody that was, you know, give me guidance and stuff like that. Like my old publisher, she was like really, really guarded. Like she didn't want to like by the time I got to her, she didn't want to give the game, you know, and give away everything. And I understand why now. You get what I'm saying? Because I have come across a few people where you be like, girl, like, and I didn't cut a few contracts and been like, you know what, I don't even want to deal with you. Like, I will void your contract. Anybody will tell you, I will void a contract so fast because I would rather have my peace than
Peace, woo. Listen, I'd rather have
like
my peace more than my money. I tell you that right now.
so it's just like some people you just like some people you
That's
just
it.
can't give them all of you. You can't give them everything. So I
Mhm.
understand why it's some publishers out here who they feel like, oh, she act like Suge Knight or he act like Suge Knight or this whatever. I don't know. I get it. Like I totally get it now. Like because it's some people out here that will drain you, like suck the life out of you, and then get on Facebook and try to make you be this bad person. Like they didn't make you be that person, you know? So it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I don't, I'd be very skeptical about who I put on my roster. Like before I sign you, we gonna get on the phone, we gonna chop it up. I'm gonna let you fill me out. Like we gonna have a conversation. It's just yeah.
So you don't really do the like, do they do the three chapters, or you want to feel them out first?
I do. They send their manuscripts in. If I read the manuscript and I like it,
Mhm.
then I will set up a call with them, and I feel like the call would determine if I
Yeah.
sign you,
Yeah.
because I don't care how well you can write or how much money I think you're gonna make me. If we don't vibe and our attitudes don't mesh, we can't work together.
Yeah.
So it's just pointless to sign you.
So where can they submit?
Oh, you can go to tianmariesubs@gmail.com.
Okay.
And actually, I will post my submission flyer on my page once we finish the interview.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So we know what sets you apart and how close you work hands on. They are, you said, spar. How do you? What do you? Let's get into like, how do you come up with the titles to your book and stuff?
I come up with titles first, actually. I come up with titles before I do storylines.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Tell me your process. What's your process?
like most of the time I come up with my title first before I even come up with a storyline. Or if I have a storyline and I just need to get it out, then I probably just write it, then come up with a title later. But most of the time I always come up with my titles before I start my storyline.
And what's your station looking like? Like how long do you take a day out of your time to write?
Um, I try to write at least like 6 to 8 hours out the day.
Really?
And I do it at night. Like I start at 10 o'clock, and I go from 10 o'clock p.m. sometimes to like 5 or 6 a.m.
See, now you getting what I'm putting down. So you see why I be up if I, is this when
I,
yeah.
because in the daytime my phone just constantly dings, 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 dings. So I can't focus. Like, and then if I put my phone on D&D, some gonna be like, check that phone. Like, so it's just like I rather write at night. I write best when nobody's bothering me and I could just stay up, and like that's just my when I'm most creative.
How do you balance everything?
Um, like I do everything in the daytime. Like if I have to do format books or help read chapters for them or whatever the case may be, I do everything during the day. And by the time nighttime come, I won't have anything else to do but write. Like I can wind down and do what I need to do for me. Because at first it was really hard to balance, because I try to write in the daytime to do like little writing sprints and stuff like that, and then try to like help with like company stuff and help the authors and all that stuff. And it was just like a little draining sometimes. But now that I know I have a specific time to write, which is at night, then that's what I do.
Well, we're gonna jump into reviews. How important is it for readers to leave a review? I know now, before I was leaving a review, I didn't even know we could just rate the book. I kept saying, okay, I gotta type out this whole thing before. But tell me how you feel about just rating the book versus like rating and leaving a review.
Um, I like to hear like what the readers thought about the book and the characters and stuff like that. Um, Reviews to me, or detailed reviews, I think are very helpful, because some readers, they'll leave a review and they'll just be like, "Oh, this book was just very good," and I'll be like, "Okay, well, what did you like about the book? Like, what was very good about the book or whatever?" But um, I just think that um, it really doesn't matter to me, to be honest. Like, if you a review or if you don't, it doesn't matter. But looking at the reviews do make me feel good though, because it's like, okay, it is people out here that like my stuff, people that like my style of writing, and they actually paying attention to the characters and their personality. So when people leave detailed reviews and they straight get into the characters and oh, I couldn't stand that low down dirty such and such, so it just like I like that kind of stuff. But the reviews that really blow me be the reviews that people really don't know what they be. They trying to criticize you, but then they using the wrong words, spelling words wrong. Girl, get off my page. Like, please.
Oh, your review. Ah.
Like, I done had a review for somebody trying to go off, and it was just like, you can't even spell, mom. Just get off my page. Like, please.
Now, did you have to develop that thick skin on the negative reviews?
Um,
Or it's just like some days it might be like y'all get to me and then some days you don't.
I let me think. I'm trying to think. I think it was probably only like one review that really made me be like, really? Like,
Because they can say some stuff.
it was one review, and I don't even remember what it said, but I just knew she tried it. Like, but it got to me, but I don't really think that it got to me like that because the book that she left the review on, I really wasn't really much feeling that book anyway. And
No.
but the book did very well.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't even expect the book that I'm talking about actually is the book that made me a national best-selling author. I hated that while he's sleeping, she's creeping. I hated that story. I hated the book. I didn't want to write it. Like it was just like, and my publisher, she was just like, you just need something hot to get your name out there. Da, 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 da. So I was like, okay, let me do this commercial title. I wrote
Yes.
or I wrote, I got to like 15K in that book and I trashed it and started over. And then I got to like the first three chapters and I trashed it and I started over again. So it was like I really couldn't get into it. Probably like the fourth time that I tried right now, I was just like, well, this just gonna be it. And I finally got through it and it was okay to me. Like it wasn't like no, it was just something, it just really wasn't what I thought was going, I didn't think it was gonna make me a national best-selling author. I know that. Because I thought the storyline was mediocre. I thought the storyline was mediocre. I thought the characters, like, yeah, I gave the characters life or whatever, but it was just like the storyline itself wasn't what I thought it. But the readers loved it.
Mhm.
That like I got
You
my
don't
first,
know what they're gonna like.
yeah, like that was the first time I ever saw a comma in any of my checks. I hadn't made over $1,000 yet. I don't even think I had before that series. I don't even think I had made over $300-400. But
Mhm.
that book got me my first fat check.
Mhm.
It was sitting in the top three for like 3 months. It was like, and I couldn't believe it. It was just like, really? This is
I
what the
know.
this is what the readers like, huh? Like okay, but yeah. So sometimes the stories that do the best for you, you don't even be feeling. And the ones that you feel the most like, oh, this gonna do good, you be like, really?
Mhm.
This is what I made. So that's why I tell my authors sometimes your best work is not gonna get noticed. Then you're gonna put some stuff out and you're gonna be like, really? This is
Mhm.
what y'all raving about when I just wrote this bomb ass series last month and y'all ain't do nothing. So it just be like you never know.
So when it happens and you like, man, they gravitate into this one. I like this, they like this storyline. Do you continue to move there or you go back to like whatever I feel like right now, right? Or do you just stay on that gravy train and be like, okay, y'all want to hear some more? I'm gonna give you some more. What you think?
I get bored very
You get
like
bored fast?
yeah.
Mhm.
So one thing readers will never get from me is a long spin-off series, spin-off of this, spin-off of that. Like, you know how like some of them authors be having 7, 8, 9, 10 book series and stuff like that. Like, you will never get that from me. I'm telling my readers now, if y'all want it, it's never gonna come. So it's just like, because I don't even like people that much. Like talking, like I just can't. Like, I need to move on. Like, I can't give you and I can't give you the same storyline with different characters every other series either. It's just like, if I know I wrote about a crackhead and her falling in love and getting clean and this, that, and the third, I'm not bringing that same storyline back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm just not, like, I need to do something different.
Yeah, I be having like the tropes now. Now we want to be finding like we want to know what it the enemies to lovers, the kidnapper. We want to I don't know. The friends of the second chance, love, all that kind of stuff. And now it's shopping for the trunk.
Yeah.
The rest
So,
of that.
but I got a lot of storylines that I ain't like. I got a lot of stuff in my clip left, so I ain't gonna run out of bullets for a long time. So I ain't even worried about it.
But you tell your brothers that they already on the map now, that they already gonna be on the lookout for the song for this summer book which you about to come out because I just want to see how they gonna act.
Yeah,
A plum fool.
of plum food.
So to tell me how inspiring authors, inspiring writers that want to get into the industry but feel like, things are holding them back, what would you have to say to them?
Ain't nothing holding you back but yourself. Your brain, your overthinking if somebody's gonna like this, or once you get in a game or whatever and you write your books, just target your audience. Like, the readers gonna come. Like, I had to learn it because at first it was like, I'm writing these books, I'm writing these books, I'm writing these books, and I feel like I'm not getting nowhere. But it was like my reader base was growing and this and that. And I had to tell myself, everybody is not gonna like everything that you write. Even your most loyal readers might not like everything that you write.
That's true.
So you just gotta keep it coming and try to give it the best that you got. And if it don't work one time, just go back to the drawing board and come with something different. That's all you can do, because for me, giving up ain't an option. Like, I didn't told myself that I was gonna give up a whole bunch of times and shit. I'm still here.
That's right. And thank God, because I mean, from what you said earlier, I mean, things could have took a totally different turn for you, and then God saw fit that you was able to get into this industry and like leave your imprint and like help others too as well. So kudos to you, girlfriend.
Thank you.
Yes, and you are doing your thing. Keep pen pushing. Keep doing what was called to do. Your assignment. I believe everybody have an assignment. So keep doing what you was called to do. And I enjoy your writing because I like stuff to talk junk. I like stuff with the little laughing jokes, the little crazy stuff. I like that type of stuff. So I mean keep doing it. Keep evolving and do your thing. Now before we get ready to go into like let open the lines and see what the views or anybody have any questions or anything like that. Tell us how your readers can stay up to date with you, your social media accounts and stuff like that. With you.
You can go, the easiest way, I tell them go to my website, tianmarie.com. All my socials is on my website. You can email me through my website. You can submit through my website. You can sign up for the email listing on my website. Everything that you need to know about me is on my website. So that'll be the easiest way, instead of trying to go to Twitter or social media and find me and stuff like that. Just go to tianmarie.com and then just navigate the website and you'll have all my socials, and then you can follow me on everything.
And the last little bit before we go, I know I can tell my co-host is kind of feeling down today because normally she'd been hit me. You better not forget the game. So I have to go ahead and do the game with you before we get off. And so we're gonna do the game. I do like a little game, this or that, and we're just gonna play it along with you. So here we go. This one right here is when I write, am I a neat freak or am I a messy person? Which one are you?
A neat freak.
All right. Would you rather have a standalone or a good series?
A good series.
We're gonna go into I think I'm gonna do this one with you. All right, so the intro, enemies to lovers or friends to lovers.
Hmm. I don't know. I kind of like both, but probably enemies to lovers. There's so much you can do with that.
Yes, it is a lot of love.
And I haven't had the lovers story.
You
Like
are,
I haven't written the enemies, but I definitely got that coming.
you got enemies to lovers coming?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
But I do have a friends to lovers book. My last Valentine's Day story was a friends to lovers book.
Okay, tell me that name.
There was, remember, my team did a group project and it was like a mixtape. It was called Valentine's Day Jams Volume 1. And my song was SWV We.
Okay, I like that. I like the concept and everything.
So it was a friends to lovers book. They was best friends and they both had different spouses, but they ended up, falling in love.
Okay. Now, would you rather have the kingpin or the corporate boss?
I think I want the kingpin.
Oh,
Cor-
I know that one.
corporate, corporate. Now I could do a corporate boss, but can he be like a corporate ex? Can he be a corporate ex drug lord? Somebody who
Yes,
took
I know,
drug
right?
money, made a Fortune 500 company.
I know. Last one is no, it's not the next to the last one. Okay. Okay, you can only pick one. Arranged marriage or one night stand with a baby. Now, this is you, so you would have to pick. Which one would you do? Marry somebody you don't know, arranged marriage, or one night stand with a baby. You'd be left with a baby at the end of the night.
Without
Bye. Uh,
I think I'd do the arranged marriage.
you want to just marry off. Okay. All right. Truth or dare?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I don't know what you would make me do. So I'm gonna go with truth.
Truth? You only dare? You sure you don't feel like you seem like a little dare person? You in a dare?
I'm definitely a daredevil, but
Okay.
you seem a little I'm scared to play there with you.
Got this.
I can sense that you live life on the edge too, so I don't know what the dare will be.
I'm calming down. So we're gonna try this truth or dare.
We gonna do truth.
All right, we're just gonna keep it true. Is it true? Let me see. Is it true? Hmm. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see. Marcy. Is it true that Maurice and Alicia is the last characters in your latest book?
You said the last characters in my next book?
No, is the characters in the latest book.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. There we go. Bad,
That's true.
not bad. I'm not gonna do too dirty. Yeah, so tonight we had author and publisher T and you guys T and Marie. You guys stay hold on. So you have any questions for the author and publisher? Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is Between the Pages with Markela, the Author's Lounge. And thank you guys. See you next week. We have a special guest for you as well. Bye.